What's up, guys? It's Nick Rizzo here from Nimbus Nutrition, and you're watching Nimbus TV. Today we have a public service announcement. 1/3 of all American adults are walking around drunk at all times, and they don't even know it. So when you walk into work tomorrow, take a look to your colleague on your left and the colleague on your right. One of you three might as well have been taking down shots of Fireball on your way to work that day. Don't worry, I didn't forget about our favorite population. That's the puberty-stricken group we formerly referred to as high school teenagers. 87%. That's right, 87% might as well have fallen suit of your coffee and Fireball breath colleague and been taking shots of tequila with their Pop-Tarts and toaster strudels for breakfast before going to school that day. Now, before you get ready to call bullshit, the data is there. The numbers are there. The science is there. And the amount of times that I've had people, try to brag about the amount of sleep they didn't get that week is absurd. I can only remember how many times I've had to have someone in college come up to me and give me their weekly recap of, all the work they did, how many times they hit the gym, all the partying they did, I had 6 beers, 3 shots, and all the sleep they didn't get, as if it makes some sort of a badass. But that's how it goes. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this is because it is a major health issue. The AAA did a study on car accidents and the relationship to sleep deprivation. So after an accident, they do a survey on individuals and ask and see how much sleep they've been getting in the past 24 hours. 7% of all crashes, 13% of all crashes that are related to a hospital visit, and 21% of all fatal crashes are due to drivers who just didn't get enough sleep in just the past 24 hours. This is equivalent and very, very similar to the amount of people and percentages that get into accidents based off of drunk driving. And this is why a lot of professionals and scientists are saying that sleep deprivation is equal to drunken cognitive and physical impairment. Following up with that, the Harvard Business Review also did a study. What they found was that if you're only getting 4 to 5 hours of sleep, just for a few nights, 3 to 4 hours, 3 to 4 days, for 4 to 5 hours a night, they're finding that that's equal to not getting sleep for 24 hours straight. They also said it's equal to being essentially above the legal limit of alcohol intoxication. So that means you're operating as if you're always under the influence of having a few beers in you. Now, if you extrapolate that a little bit longer, not too much longer, just within 10 days, that same 4 to 5 hours a night, it's the equivalent of not sleeping for 48 hours. I don't know if any of you guys have ever done that, but trust me, it isn't pretty. I don't suggest it. Anyone who is in that kind of stance where they've only had 4 to 5 hours of sleep for within 10 days, a single beer is the equivalent to having 6 beers in a well-rested person in regards to cognitive and physical impairments. Alright? Now, how I first became kind of passionate about this is I'm going to tell you a little story about me and how I kind of got into this. So, a couple years ago, I'm going to visit my girlfriend, who's my now wife. Visit their family about an hour south of Boston. So I'm driving down 993 South. I'm in the second from the left lane. And I feel myself getting pretty tired, and my eyes are really dry and irritable, and they're kind of getting annoying. So I was like, let me just pull over. I'll put in some eye drops. It should help. So I do that, pull back out. I'm back in the second from the left lane. Now, every time that I'm reminded about how tired I am from my headache that's pounding, from my eyes kind of just drooping, feeling really tired, I'm just, okay, what can I do? Roll down the windows. I'll let this cold air just kind of slap me in the face. I'll reach over and I'll turn the music up just a little bit louder, try to kind of stimulate myself up. And when that didn't work, I'm doing the combination of that and just reaching over and sipping my Monster. And my genius idea, this is going to fix it. I'm going to be good. I'll get there nice and safe. We're all set. So I'm driving, and all of a sudden my head snaps up. I'm no longer in the same lane. Now I'm in the lane that's all the way to the left. I'm about 3 feet away from the guardrail, and I have no idea what just happened. It takes me about a minute, but then I realized I just passed out behind the wheel. So, an extra second, 2, 3 seconds longer, I could have been over the guardrail into the other side of the highway. I could have gotten in a car accident and hurt myself, or even worse, hurt someone else. Right? It's a serious issue, and when at that moment it snapped, like, I really need to address my own sleep problems, my own sleep health. And it became a much bigger issue than as I began to do research and figure out this stuff. And these kind of stories, they happen a lot more than you think, right? So about a month ago, I was reading in a news article about a father. He was driving his family. His wife's in the passenger seat, his kids are in the back, and he's driving, and he's tired. He's tired from work. He's tired from raising his kids. Which is respectable. You have kids. I'm sure that's not easy. And he fell asleep behind the wheel. Only person that survived that crash was him. Imagine that. Imagine you just not getting enough sleep, and over time it leads to you just falling asleep behind the wheel. And you didn't die. You still have your life, but you lost your life. You lost everything that mattered. It's insane, right? And it doesn't. This doesn't just happen with just car accidents. Okay, so let's look at like medical professionals, right? Hospital interns, they have a lot of experience dealing with things like scalpels and needles, right? So you would never think that they'd be an issue. Well, a study found that hospital interns that are scheduled to work for 24 hours have a 67% increased likelihood of stabbing themselves with a scalpel or a needle. And not only that, right? So on their way home from work, they have a 168% likelihood of getting in a car accident. And on top of that, they have a 460% chance of near misses on the road. So these percentages of danger of hurting yourself or hurting others is skyrocketing on lack of sleep. And then if you look into the news for more prominent figures, the editor-in-chief of the Huffington Post, Arianna Huffington, in 2007. Okay, she's home at work. She's home and she's working from home, and she's on her phone. She's working on her email, things like that. Next thing she knows, she woke up in a pool of blood. She passed out, smashed her face. She had a broken cheekbone, a couple other injuries. They take her to the hospital. Diagnosis? Exhaustion. She was literally working herself and not sleeping enough to the point where her body just said, I'm done. I'm out. She fallen a different way. She could have died. She could have passed away. Just from sleep deprivation. Okay? This is a serious thing. Now, before you try to say that, you can just catch up on sleep on the weekends, like a lot of people try to do. Like, oh, I get like 5, maybe 6 hours a night during the week. And on the weekends, I try to sleep in a little bit more. I catch up. I'm good. Well, a study tested that out too. Sorry, man. Not true. It may help reduce like the stress hormones with cortisol and things like that. It may help reduce inflammation. And for that particular day, it may reduce like daytime sleepiness. But it doesn't reduce or fix or repair the cognitive and physical impacts that come with sleep deprivation. And they found the only thing that fixes that is getting back on a very solid, rigorous, and healthy sleep schedule consistently. And that's the only way to repair it. All right. So it's just so crucially important. And to give you a really brief explanation, I'm going to do another video on this another time. So why is that happening? Why are we like passing out and getting these car accidents? So essentially, when you're awake, your body starts to build this biological need for sleep, because it's so drastically important for your body, for health, for cell health, everything. So as you're awake, throughout the day, it's slowly building, and then you get 5 hours of sleep. Not enough. And do it again. This need just keeps growing and growing and growing for sleep. And at one point, your brain just says, well, if you're not going to go to sleep willingly, we're going to take it from here. And it flips this quote-unquote sleep switch. Okay? Puts thousands, hundreds of thousands, just tons of neurons into autopilot mode, sleep mode. And they're not really functioning anymore. Okay, so when you feel yourself in a conversation, and you're just kind of not really present, and you're not really hearing what's happening, you kind of forget what was just said, or you're driving behind the wheel, and you realize you've been driving for like 5 minutes, and you really haven't had a single point where you really thought about what was happening. You don't really remember what you did while driving on the highway going 60 miles per hour. Or, you're at work, and nothing is really happening as what's supposed to. Your productivity is terrible. You're forgetting things that you normally don't forget. You're forgetting people's names. You're forgetting people's faces. These kind of things. This is your body telling you, please, bro, let's go to bed. All right, we need this. Okay, and you need to listen. It's a major deal. All right, and this issue isn't just about driving or accidentally stabbing yourself. It affects every aspect of your life. I'm talking from work productivity to emotional stability to relationships to just even simply enjoying the things you love most in life, your overall happiness, right? And this is why it's time now more than ever, as America is getting worse and worse with sleep and stress and overworking. It's 2017, people. Now is the time to fix this. Okay, so I'm not going to just sit here and preach this fear mongering of sleep deprivation. We're gonna have some more videos coming your way on all these different little aspects that get affected by sleep deprivation, but we're also gonna be trying to provide you guys some tips and systems to build better habits in order to fix this issue. Okay, so I hope you like this video. Hope we kind of raised a little bit of awareness for you and realize how important this is. And so if you did, you can follow below. There's gonna be some links to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram. Subscribe to our email newsletter. And we look forward to seeing you guys again. Hope you enjoyed. This has been Nick Rizzo from Nimbus Nutrition. Have a great day and get some sleep.